Hey there. I apologise in advance. This video will be rambling and hopefully will make sense, but my brain's still a bit fudgy. I need to tell you guys something that happened to me about 4 weeks ago. I am not telling anyone to do what I did. I am not telling anyone to go and take anything. What I'm doing is telling you what I've done, the mind-blowing results I've had, and encourage you to go and do your own research. That's all I'm do, because I do feel a fucking heavy responsibility with this, I'll be honest. So, I have had depression and anxiety since I was a teenager. Excuse me. I have an actual real normal cold. I've also got physical conditions, endometriosis, degenerative disc disease, and associated offshoots of that, which have me in pain every day. So I've been on pain medication for 20 odd years, off and on, mainly on. And I've done it for over 20 years, and honestly, I'd had enough. Up until 4 weeks ago, I'd gone and researched how I could go abroad for euthanasia. I had a failed suicide attempt last year. It was grim. It was fucking grim, and I had nothing left to lose, which is why I did what I did, off my own back, with no medical intervention or anything, because I tried that and it just wasn't going well. When you got to go and argue with your GP for medication for conditions that he knows you have, and still, yeah, but the opioid crisis, don't fucking get me started. It's a pain crisis, it's not an opioid crisis. So I, in my desperation, went off and did some research, and I was looking into getting some psilocybin. It's been, I've heard a lot about it, and I've YouTubed it to balls, and it just seemed like a possibility. While I was doing that, I happened upon something called kratom, which, off the top of my head, was purported to help with pain and mood. Fucking bingo, thinks me. That's exactly what I need, is help with mood and pain. So I did my research. I went and learned about it. I learned that it was cited in, I think, 15-ish cases in the States last year on coroner's reports, but it was never the only substance found in the person that died, and we don't know how they died, whether it be overdose or suicide, or who knows. But yeah, to my knowledge, it has never been singularly responsible for a death, and it's been used in Southeast Asia for hundreds of years. It's a leaf off a tree. But it hasn't been tested in the UK, so therefore it is illegal. It is also both recognised and allowed by WADA and USADA, the anti-doping or World and American anti-doping authorities. So they know about it. They haven't banned it, even for elite athletes, which is questionable, but who am I to say? I also found an amazing company called British Supplements, and they had herbs and supplements that I'd never heard of. I've got, in fact, for somebody who could never write anything down, because I hated myself so much, I was in my own way, I couldn't do anything to help myself if I wanted to. But then I found this company, and for reasons unbeknown, I couldn't take a pen up. Literally, I started writing. And these are just all things that I can try. And some of them I am. Now, the exciting bit for me was finding something called, where are we? I got marine collagen, because it helps with sun damage on skin, bone strengthening, and joint pain. Perfect. So, got that in my locker. And I got a few things, largely to queue, because I knew it was going to be a mix and match jobby of, nobody knows what these things do, so I'm going to have to find out for myself. Now, lion's mane mushroom. It helps with anxiety, depression, dementia, nerve damage, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, immunity, blah, blah, blah. It goes on and on and on. Wow. That shit works. Let me tell you, it's been the key for me. Because I hated myself for so long for being so ill and my life being in the shitter. And I'm a bright cookie and I couldn't figure out why I couldn't ever get it right. I was just always overshadowed with shit situations and health problems, like most of us. Now, very shortly after starting taking these things, and I'll put a little disclaimer in here because at the time I'd already decided to tail off the venlafaxine that I'd been plugging away at for a year, and frankly, if it did anything, it made me worse. I don't necessarily think it did anything, to be honest, apart from being a bit of an arsehole to come off. But I was tailing that off, and I stopped smoking weed and taking tramadol, which is what I've used for pain relief for a few years now. So like within a week I did all that, which was incredibly fucking stupid in hindsight, but I was very much devil may care by them, and I fucking did it. So nobody's got any excuses really. And yeah, so I was taking kratom. I still clung on to my HRT because fucking hell, nobody needs that shit going wrong. But within a week, maybe less, I started noticing myself doing things subconsciously that I couldn't have battered myself mentally to do for a month. Little bits of tidying up here and there. Because I've just, whatever bit of every brain that's supposed to care about being tidy and clean, mine went west a long time ago. And I should care about it. I'm tired. I'm in pain. I don't. It's that simple. And that is a worse social stigma than being a fucking rolling alcoholic, let me tell you. But again, that's another story. So, I'm on these things, and I mean, I was in such a bad way that I was permanently triggered. I was shaking all the time. I barely went out. And I'd just sit in bed and I'd be like, not even on Facebook, just because I was just, my nerves were gone. It's the best way I can put it. I don't know if it's accurate, but that's what it felt like. Within days, the trembling stopped. I haven't so far lost my shit, and I'm quite well known for losing my shit. I haven't broken down crying, upset. I can form arguments, or debates rather, in my head. I mean, it's a massive thing, but it's a tiny, tiny part of my brain. But I know, but the only conclusion I can get to is that what I'm taking is helping my brain, regrowing it. I'm accessing parts of my brain that I thought were long dead, that I haven't had since my early 20s. Now, the key for me, like I've probably already said, because my memory's not brilliant today, is that knowing I wasn't responsible, as much as I was trying to beat myself over the edge with a stick, I couldn't have done it if I tried. I just hated myself for it. But now I know that it's a biological thing as opposed to a psychiatric kind of thing. I've been able to forgive myself. All those decades of self-hatred have just gone. Which I think is a huge, huge part of it. But I know that that's something that our gang have trouble with. I can't really think of anything more to say. I mean, I've got my son on the mushrooms and the marine collagen. And let me tell you, last week, without being asked, he plumbed in a washing machine. He's 14. It's, yeah. Hit me up if you've got any questions, any advice, any recommendations on this video, because I want to do one for, like, the world. But something about it that's I'm holding myself back, and I'm not sure why. Yeah, please get in touch. Any comments, suggestions, whatever. I'm open to talk about anything, because this shit's got to stop. We deserve better. We don't deserve a life of pain. So my advice, yeah, go on the internet, do your own research. I consider myself in remission. You know, I've been on pharmaceutical drugs for months that I thought was the second coming, then I've been in agony, so I know it can all go tits up at a moment's notice. But you know what? Even if it does, at least I now know what it's like to live with peace in my soul. And it's incredible. It's keeping me awake because I don't want to go to sleep. But yeah, I'm sure that'll resolve itself soon. I just hope it can help you too. All the best. Bye.